So I was at work up in the Arctic at the very top of Alaska. For Christmas, we had king crab legs, and I'll mention this again later on in the video. But we decided to head out and go to Fiji. So this is us leaving early in the morning. I want to say it was 4 o'clock in the morning, -17, 2 foot of snow. So we drive to the airport, jump on Delta Airlines, fly to Seattle. From Seattle, we fly to LAX. When we get to LAX, we're going to have to grab our luggage, go back through TSA, and go on to Fiji Airlines. So we upgraded to first class, which Fiji calls business class. We are going to be on an Airbus. Part of what you get in that package is you get into the Star Lounge at LAX, and I just had to do a few little seconds of video of this. They had bathrooms and showers at this place. So we were going to check in, and you get to go straight in, get on the plane, and relax. So this business class, you get to lay down and go to sleep. When I woke up the next morning, I got to enjoy a nice healthy breakfast, and this is just kind of, I was going to show you what the cabin actually looked like. So nobody's sitting next to you. You're sitting in a little pod. One of the coolest things me and Melanie have ever done is do this business class to Fiji. I won't ever do it again, but it was a once in a lifetime experience. So when I went to sleep pretty quick, and when I woke up, I had this delicious breakfast waiting on me. So I just took a few little shots of me and Melanie sitting here eating breakfast. Kind of our little moment of glory. This was really cool. One of the coolest features of this plane was that it had cameras on the outside of the plane, and you could flip from the top of the plane to the bottom of the plane. And so I decided I wanted to see the plane land, and I figured y'all would want to see this. It was actually pretty cool. And this is a Airbus coming into Fiji, and he puts it right on the numbers. So once we get to Fiji, we were staying at a resort, and the name of the resort was Namale. Namale is located on Savu Savu, so we had to take another airplane ride from here over to Savu Savu. The total air time of us being in the air was 21 hours. Well, for me, because I came from the Arctic, I had 2 more hours in the air than Melanie did. But we jumped on this tiny little plane, and we're going to head over to Namale. So Namale is an all-inclusive resort. Everything's included. The reason we picked this island and this resort, one, is because the island is very conservative. So much, if you go into the village, women have to have their elbows covered and their knees covered. And it's not very crowded. I think there was 8 couples on this resort when we were there. There was over 100 employees. Everything. I mean, they cook whatever you wanted. Just absolutely mind blowing. So anyway, we're gonna get into Namale. This is the entrance, and like I said, it's right. It's the second island. You got the big island and a small island. It's on the small island. Nandi is the bigger of the two. So this building was the guest building. When you first arrive, that's where you go. They give you a pretty little necklace with some flowers on it. And we just made our way around and got to see basically the whole layout of it. You got a hot tub that overlooks a blowhole, and they have a dining table there. This is our room, and the room was nice. It's not real big. It's probably 800 square feet. It's got a bathroom, then a shower that's either indoors or outdoors. You can open the door up and take a shower as if you're outside. The beaches, I would be honest, Gulf Shores is a lot nicer. If you're going for beaches, don't come here. if you're coming to get away from everybody and have a nice vacation, this is where you want to go. But the beaches were not that spectacular. There were coral, so as soon as you walk into the water, you had to have water shoes. Well, but they had everything. They had a golf course and putt course. We would this was New Year's night, but we would just sit around, eat dinner, and I think I maybe saw two other couples, three other couples the whole time. The flowers were spectacular. Everywhere we went, Melanie and I kept stopping and saying, "Oh, look at this! Oh, look at this flower!" And what was funny is she knew every one of them like a book. She would just spit out the name of these flowers, and I didn't have any idea. But we had to stop and take pictures of all of them. But everywhere you went, you had to look for fallen coconuts. They had a game room with a bowling alley, with foosball, air hockey. But every night, they would have somebody performing, and I'll let you see this performance. Now these folks are from. Uh,
बस यही कहीं रह जा मैं तेरी दीवानी रे अफसोस तुझे है क्या तेरी मेरी कहानी नहीं बन गई तू मेरा हो गया मैं तेरी हो
Now today we are going out on a boat and we're going to a private island, and it was Melanie and I and another couple, and the other couple, they were a young couple. One of them was from Cuba, and the other one was from Australia, and they were ballerinas with Queensland Ballerina Company. They were very nice kids. They were young, they were like real young. But Melanie and I spent the day on the beach. We found a coconut, and then I busted it up. And this fella here, he was our guide, and he showed me how to open the coconut, and I was drinking the coconut milk. But the wildlife, just unbelievable. Here's a starfish that is, I mean, bright purple. And Melanie and I, we just kind of walked around. They had horses on the island, and you walk up and pet them. They were tiny little horses. You couldn't ride them, but they were real friendly. The food was spectacular. Anything you wanted to eat, they would cook for you. And that's why I was talking about that king crab earlier. One night I got to have mud crab. I never had mud crab. It was absolutely delicious. Now, this was in the jungle. You take a 5-minute ride up past the golf course, and you had this swimming hole. And I went swimming in that thing 2 or 3 times. But the bats were huge. They had these bats flying around. I had to get a picture of one. But the sunsets, just unbelievable. You just sit there and watch the sun go down. But once again, we stopped taking pictures of flowers. The flowers, every turn you make, and this property was like 580 or 600 acres, and it was exquisite. But the best part to me were the people. The people were just so extremely nice. Everybody that worked at Namale, wherever we went, people would say "Bala, Bula, Bula," and then they say, "Hey Ron, hey Melanie, how you doing?" They knew who we were, and you just felt like you were home. But like I said, we got to play golf. This is the golf course. It was a 9-hole, a par 3 golf course, and it had these water lilies out there, and just had to stop and take pictures of the water lilies. But and one day I was out there playing, and a mongoose ran by. I didn't get a picture of it. They got mongooses on the island. But this is some more pictures of the food that we had, and when going back to that waterfall, they took us out and gave us a picnic out there. They set it all up and drove us out, and then when we got there, this is what we were looking at. We were in the middle of the jungle eating a picnic dinner. It was It was nice. So going out to the jungle and having a picnic right here, you see the waterfall in the background, was probably one of my highlights. I enjoyed that more than anything. And like I said, Melanie's sitting there in the middle of the jungle eating a delicious lunch. Then we went back to the waterfall and went swimming. The water was so cold. I couldn't tell you how cold it was. And they had a spa, and you could go into the spa, and they had a hot tub and a cold plunge and a waterfall in the spa. But as you can tell, right there is a blowhole, and you just sit in the hot tub and watch the waves come in the blowhole. But this is at the end of the trip. We had a great time. We ended up flying back to LA, and I think it was 11 hours. They had a good headwind, and the first thing we did was eat Chick-fil-A, because as any good American knows, as soon as you get back in America, you got to have Chick-fil-A. But anyway, I really appreciate you watching our video. We're back home now and shoveling snow.